My name is Kirienko, and I'm one of the developer of data analysis platform, Search Anywhere Framework. So first of all, I'd like to thank you, the organizers. And today I will share with you why it's so important in today's world to leverage knowledge and data in business decision making, and what in the current trends in SIEM. So I will show our product Search Anywhere Framework as an example. So how we can solving this task with our product, how we can solve these problems with our product. And today will be some practical slides describing our product and approach. So in fact, my presentation will be separated or divided into two parts. So the first part will be about the cost-effective and data-centric approach. And we will talk about the value of data in general. And the second part is SIEM trends. So let's start. On these slides, I want to take a quick step back and set the context of my presentation. So we have all heard about the phrase, there's more and more data. But the problem is that it often sounds quite abstract. So here I'm showing the growth of global data volume over the last few years. So we can see that in 2023, the world generated about 120 zettabytes. So 1 zettabyte is a 1 billion terabyte. And it's growing every year. And the forecast to the 2026, it will be more than 240 zettabytes already. So, and when we are understanding that the data grows in this scale, so doubling in just few years, our questions to business is no longer should we collect data or not. So the real question is how do we will use this in our business, in our opportunities. So here the three facts about the data decisions. So the first one is a positive signal. The companies when the companies is trying to do decisions around the data, they are about 3 times most likely to make decisions that are more confident and higher quality. So because they rely on the measurable signals and the facts, that means the fewer mistakes, the fewer unnecessary actions, and fewer expensive experiments. So this is at minimum 3 times likely to this. At the same time, around 58 companies still rely on the intuition, so they are not using data when they making business decisions. So it doesn't happen because the leaders don't understand the quality of data or something like this. Most of them do. The issue is different. Data is often unavailable, too fragmented, not trusted, or simply too hard to interpret. So in the third one, the half of the data that company could potentially use is not used in practice. So data exists, it's being generated and collected somewhere along the way, but when it's time to make a decision, it's turned into action and doesn't actually help. Yeah. So data right now, it's not a trendy topic, not just an analytics project or not an IT team initiative. So data is core infrastructure for making decisions that are consistent, measurable, and high quality. Yeah. And the key takeaways of the data-centric approach. So the first, you can investigate an incident if you don't have a history. So you can't recreate or recollect the data after the fact. So if you have an incident, you should have the data to discover this data. So very often companies face the same scenario. So something happens, maybe at night or during the peak hours, revenue drops, users start complaining, and when the team logs in the next morning, they only see the impact, but they cannot detect the root cause. Yeah. The second one, challenge is when data exists, but it's scared. So the IT team has their own IT system, and the dashboards. Security has the SIEM. The business team has reporting and analytics somewhere else. And even within the IT team, the data is often split. Logs in one place, metrics in another, APM in the third. And when an incident happens, the team doesn't start solving the problem right away. First, they have to answer the basic questions. Where is the truth? So they don't understand where they can find the truth. And that's exactly why resolutions slow down. Teams end up pulling people in the war room, sharing the screenshots back and forth, debating with which metrics matters more, and wasting time to align the data instead fixing the issue. So when you are building the data-centric approach, you can build a unified monitoring center, the single pane of the glass. It's like a future of principle single pane of glass. So all critical data in one place on a shared timeline with correlation and investigation capabilities. So it also enabled multiple teams to use the same data. So during an investigation, the key signals often comes from the different departments. Not the one of the initially owns the incident. So maybe it's some logs in IT, maybe some logs in security, maybe in business, and so you can correlate this and understand the root cause of your incident. And when you are building a data-centric approach too, so you save the data ownership. So, for example, someone using a MSSP model, so maybe some service to help you with the detection to the day-to-day operations, it's okay, it's fine. But if you are not storing the data inside your company, you will lose access to the raw events. So you just only getting the results, incidents, and you lose our ability to validate, investigate, maybe learn something from incidents, and better to store your data inside. And let's try to understand this on the real situation. So, because when we are talking about the monitoring, it often feels like something purely technical, yeah? Alerts, dashboards, CPU charts, errors and logs. So, but the reality is that monitoring is not about only infrastructure, yeah? Monitoring is about running the business in uncertainty. So let's imagine the situation that happens in real companies. So during peak hours, revenue drops by 15%. So it's quite happening usually. And so it drops exactly when the load is the highest, when every hour is more expensive than usual. And in this moment, the key question is not why did the revenue drop? The question is different. How fast can we identify the cause and make the right decision? So, because if the cause is clear, we will act. It's okay. But if the cause is unclear, we start guessing, and guessing during peak hours turns directly into losses. So that's where we get interesting. So when the business sees the revenue drop, multiply hypotheses appear immediately, and each of them requires a completely different response. So, for example, if we try to understand what is happening without data. So the first hypothesis is infrastructure issue. So maybe my service is degrading, latency increases, timeouts appears, the database can keep up, the network is saturated, and so on. So the second hypothesis, it can be a security attack. So DDoS, bot traffic, credential stuffing attempts, API overload, or suspicious spike from the specific source. So we don't understand it technically and how to detect this, and maybe we need to block on firewall some IP or something like this. The third hypothesis, it can be maybe it's application bug. For example, the deployment looked successful, but the specific payment flow start failing. So that's why our business has a drop of our revenue. And the fourth hypothesis, it can be it's a shift in user behavior. So This is doesn't sound technical, but it happens more often than people expect. So the traffic source changed, the different audience arrives, CTR drops, the shopping cart mix changes, and so on. So that's why we are losing our money, and it's all about the data. And how we suggest to solve this with our product. So some slides about our product here. So we are suggesting to deploy in your infrastructure inside such products like a search anywhere framework. So that we have a Swiss knife for your data. We collect all the data inside. It can be IT logs, it can be cybersecurity logs, it can be some business metrics. And if we put it inside, we can pull out like multiple items. So if we need the knife, we will get the knife. If we will need the fork, we will pull the fork. And so the same with the data. So we're just grabbing the most likely instrument at this point. And if such a products have the multiple models, like inside in our product, so we can grab the core, we can grab some models about incident manager to detect incidents, we can do some stuff with the cybersecurity if we are using my product model or the cybersecurity model, for example, or if we need to detect the IT spikes, we get the service. And so you need to use such a product that give you opportunity to get all logs inside, get the data lake, security data lake inside, and using it by dashboards, by incident management, by the IT metrics, and by business metrics. So in such products like in Search Anywhere framework, you can use it. But it's not a demo of our product, but I just added some new slides. And let's a little bit more deeper inside the cybersecurity and what's the trends in the SIEM and the security in incident event management, and how we are living inside 2025 and 2026 right now. It's like in the theme of my second part is like a little bit spoiler, and why in the future we need to use the single platform instead the different instruments like a SIEM, a SOAR, and IRP. So let's try to discuss this. So this is especially a real interesting topic for discussion. So, and before we get into our reasoning, let's start from the Gartner slide. So I hope you know what is a Gartner. So it's annual rankings about the products in monitoring and in cybersecurity. So, and if we are talking about the SIEM and SOAR and IRP platforms, so let me describe the SOAR. It's a security architect automation and response, of course, and IRP, it's an incident response platform. So it's a next step for the SIEM, where we can automate the response on our incident. So in 2024, when the Gartner published these slides, we can see that SOAR solution fell into throw of disillusionment. So the stage where the products lose the hype cycle momentum and stop being seen as hot, and customers gradually pay less attention to them. So the SOAR platforms and IRP drops down. Following that trend, Gartner did not publish a dedicated ranking for SOAR solutions in 2024, which highlights the growing expectation that the SIEM platforms should include SOAR and IRP capabilities as part of their core functionality. So, and the next year, in 2025, the SIEM platforms that already had built-in IRP elements and SOAR capabilities improved their positions, and the rankings are moving into the leading category. So the SOAR and IRP capabilities inside the platform, it's the most powerful tool by the Gartner. So And in its publications, the Gartner also highlighted the market demand for so-called advanced all-in-one platforms. So we are not talking about only SIEM now. We are talking about all-in-one platforms, solutions that not only detect incidents, but also support structured processes and enabled automated response. Yeah. So, and here I make a slide. So it's our expertise, like analytic team. So we are developing and using the SIEM about, I think, 20 years of our company. What makes a SIEM advanced? So what is it? What is it, advanced SIEM or all-in-one platform? So the first component is, of course, a classic SIEM. So correlation, maybe real-time or retrospective, traditional rule-based approach that defines most SIEM solutions today. So, and typically, it also includes fairly standard manually response actions, or they propose to use as an external SOAR tool, which exactly the direction we want to move away from. Yeah. So the second block is advanced SIEM is embedding IRP directly into the platform. So like a native part of the SIEM. So that means that incident management capabilities, the ability to classify and standardize incident types and configure the different handling workflows. So it's inside the SIEM. And what we believe it's also critical, built-in communication during investigation. So maybe a chat inside the SIEM, maybe developing the war room inside the SIEM, or the knowledge base inside SIEM. It's not a different platform. We don't need a different tab for this in the browser or something like this. So, and the third component it's SOAR capabilities. So what we expect from the advanced SIEM here, first of all, out-of-the-box integration with the popular security tool. So infrastructure systems and common enterprise environments. It should also allow you to build automated sequence of the actions. So it can be playbooks for incident handling, maybe, or some automated actions. And finally, a very standard but still essential capabilities, automated notifications and distribution for the incident information. So here that makes the SIEM advanced. And current trends of the SIEM. So the first one, I think it's architecture. More and more of solutions is trying to give you an opportunity to get the data lake architecture. So we are not only posting the events, that creating incidents and storing only the incidents. We need to store all the data, all the raw events also, and build the data lake that it's trying to store your data for, I don't know, 3 years or 5 years, because now we detect that we have the long-running attacks which could unfold over weeks or months or few years, and the hackers or someone is trying to do something bad, I think maybe one action in week or one action in month. And when they incite our infrastructure for 3 years, for example, to detect this, we need to understand the whole data. Because now I don't understand that my infrastructure was attacked because of some attackers is not showing them by the years. And if we need to understand the root cause, the point where I was hacked, I need to store this data. And of course, the second and the third one is detection and investigation. So when we talk about detection, it can be a risk-based correlation rule. So if something happened with the user or the host, we're just adding some risk, some scoring inside this. And after, if we're understanding that the scoring is high, we're producing an incident. It can be the behavior of users, behavior of hosts. Of course, we will use the machine learning and AI tools to to do the detection, and of course the investigation tools like structured workflows, unified console for investigation, and so on, and of course the knowledge base inside. So, and let me show you how we are just doing this inside our product. It's like an example. So first of all, if we are producing the incidents, we are starting from the incident card, and so you need to be able to set up the incident card that makes your analytics store their knowledge when they are investigating the incident. So, for example, it can be the field like a reviewer or the line of these incidents, maybe some UBA new fields. And inside our platform, we just getting you the ability to set up the or configure the incident card, so you can add some new lines, add some new fields, maybe initiator, workflow name, related incidents, review, and you just using the constructor of this. And of course, the second step in IRP, it's a workflow. So for example, in our system, you can build the workflow of your incidents. So for example, it can be the new status when the incident's created, the next step it can be in progress, the next step self-check, maybe user blocked, and so you can just, as analytic, you're just clicking on the new status and some actions appear. You're moving the status, you're understanding how this incident was investigated and so on, and you just can click on the status, looks on the role-based access, and maybe someone can produce the action of user blocked or someone cannot. But it especially gives you opportunity to just understand who can do this action or who cannot do this action. So also you can do this inside incident, so you're not moving in another SOAR platform. You just clicking on the button. For example, you can block user, especially from the incident manager tool, and you just run this action. You can get information about how this action was run. Is it blocked or not, or you have some problems. So that give you a time, but if incident produced and you will need to do some automatical tools, so you just need to save time, and you can do this inside the incident manager, for example. Or you can build the automate workflow. So for example, if some incidents assigned to me, then I need to run a playbook automatically, and I automatically get command history, local account, or kill process by PID. So it can be done especially automatically, and I just need to click on the one action, and I will run the kill chain of this. Yeah, and then when I blocked all the users, kill all the process, I can get some time to get some analytics by search language, or drill down to the raw events and so on. So, and of course, you need, in the new generation SIEM, you need to be able to get the tools of investigation artifacts. In our solution, it can be some blocks about your acknowledgement. So it can be the text block, the incident block. It's like maybe Python Jupyter notebook, if you understand what is it. So it's just like blocks when every block can be runnable or can give you an information about this. And you can store your investigation, for example, how you investigate the incidents in the last years. And at the next time when this incident occurs, so you just share this knowledge with another analytic, and they drill downing on this information and understand what is happening here. So, and of course, the last thing, this is incident statistics. So you maybe able to get the report about what is incidents you have right now, what is SLA, what is SLA for resolution, for response, how many incidents closed today or in this week, and how many incidents in progress right now, and what is a workload of every analytics on. So the main thing in this second part, that the trend of future on this year or the 2027, I think we will replace the few elements of the cybersecurity, like a SIEM, like a knowledge base, maybe Confluence, like a SOAR, like a ERP, to the one solution. So we suggested to do with the SAF, of course, but maybe it's just a different product. But it's a trend, and I think to save the time of analytics, save the time of investigating a new incident, you must have the one solution that provides you to respond on every log, to collect every log, to do some investigation, create a dashboard, store your knowledge, store your inventory information, and so on. So especially you can do this with SAF. So guys, that's it. That's two parts of the trends in cybersecurity and data analysis in 2026. I think maybe you have some questions at this point.
Yeah, so we can take some questions from the audience. Okay.
Thank you for your speech. Is it possible to query logs, like if I speak like with ChatGPT, like tell me what happened 3 days ago with these services between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m., something like that?
Yeah, so yes, in our solution you can try to do this. We are developing the fast mode, like the tool like this. So because if you, but this is a really hard question about secure. So if you are not providing the LLM inside your company and you're not able to share your data inside the cloud solutions, maybe ChatGPT, OpenAI, or something like this, so you need able to do LLM inside. But if you connect this, you can just ask something about what did the Richard yesterday with the PowerShell scripts. And so this will produce a search query inside index that's storing data about PowerShell logs. We'll filter this about to user Richard and calculate maybe some statistics and give you the answer like a row events or maybe visualization table or a pie chart, something like this. So we are moving inside this tool, and I think in 2026 it will work like this. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks. There is an Amazon queue which you can ask about your services inside AWS. So it will be nice to have something like that.
Yeah, I think that all of IT world trying to do something like this. Yeah, and we also.
One more question. Are you planning to have some small version open source so people can play with it? I mean, free open source something, which you can.
In our product, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, all of your solution, so I can install it in my home lab and just play with it.
Yeah, so we have public, we call it laboratory or something like this. So it's just deploying in the public, and if you will ask us to give you the user and password, you can go through the demo booth, and inside this demo stand you have generators, you have the data, from cybersecurity, from IT, from the business logs, and you can click, try some queries, look at the dashboards, look at the asset service models, trees, and something like this. So just mail us for the maybe in LinkedIn or maybe on our site, and we will give you opportunity to join the laboratory, and you can try.